stampers. Beverly McGuire here, my messy room stamper. Stampin' Up! Demonstrating in the United States. I'm here with another Fun Fold Friday. I was away last week. I'm sorry about that. I took a little hiatus. I'd been making masks and headbands for the nurses in my daughter-in-law's ICU unit at Catholic Medical Center. And I was a little overwhelmed with everything I had going on, so I decided to take a little break. But I'm back today with another Fun Fold. Our Fun Fold today, I should have put this on top, I guess, will look like this when we're done, hopefully. We always hope that's how it turns out, right? This is not a really hard Fun Fold or difficult, and probably something you've seen before, but it's fun and easy to do. And I thought maybe some of us needed that just for a little stress breaker. So the card itself is an A2 card. It's 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score it at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. So what that will give you is you'll fold it in half like you would a regular card. And then you're just going to fold it back. You got to get that up, but okay. Then this top piece will be 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. I'm going to use the Timeless Tropical stamp set today. And I'm going to use the Happy Birthday out of Timeless Tulips, just so you know. So, and the designer series paper I'm using is from the annual catalog. It is the Subtles designer series paper. There's all the color families have their own designer series paper, and it's a great addition to your stash. You can use them with all the stamp sets, and they fit within those categories. They blend well together, so it's something I would suggest you do. So my card base is going to be Whisper White, and I'm going to just burnish that down, and then you'll see I'm just going to fold it back just like that, and there we have that. So that's the base of the card, okay? Then let's build the card. Let's just build the card, and you'll see it happening as we go. So the inside of the card uses, I'm going to use this piece of the yellow. I went with all yellow on this. I had intended to go with yellow and green, but I went with all yellow, so yellow it is. So this particular panel is the 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to adhere it down with my trusty glue. And get it in here as best you can. Just like that. And then I'm going to take another piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to put it in here. Now the idea of this is when the card is closed and this other panel is on the front, this panel, you won't see this piece of white, but it gives you something to stamp on and to write your greeting on. So what I'm going to do with it before I adhere it down is I'm going to stamp "May your birthday be memorable," and that is from this stamp set. And that stamp set, the Timeless Tropical, is from the new mini catalog that's here until June. And I'm just going to put it up here. My glasses are falling off my face, so hopefully, there you go. And then I'm going to, just for a little added on the inside, there's these little flowers here in the stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it in Pineapple Punch. I was going to stamp it in Mango Melody, and then, I don't know, I had a discussion with myself, and it came Pineapple Punch. So there. So that's the inside. Oops, and there's ink all over my fingers. You know, that's who I am. Oh, found it. Okay, so let's adhere that on the inside. Let's get the glue back. I recorded this before and it didn't turn out so well. So I'm just gonna center this in here just like this. And that looks pretty good. Now over on this side, I'm going to take another little piece of the designer series paper and put it down here. And this piece measures 2 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to just turn this paper, the gingham, over just so to have a little bit of different interest. And I'm going to, I think I said this already, but I did not intend this card to be all this color. But it is, and we'll just go with it because sometimes the old brain doesn't do what you wanted it to do. I think I'm going to have to pick this back up because I don't know what I'm doing with it. Pick it back up. Now it's sticking to me, sticking to the paper, sticking everywhere. Push it over this way a little bit. Oh, oh, oh. No, let go, let go. Okay, there we go. There we go. That makes me happier. Okay. Perfection is not a word that I have in my vocabulary. So there you go. It'll go like that. Okay. Now, this is a stitched framelit that Stitch Shapes framelits. There's lots of them in here, and there's a bone folder in here too. So squares, different shapes. That's what I cut this out of. And now I'm going to take the palm tree. I've never stamped with the palm tree before today, and I'm going to give it a shot. So what I'm hoping will happen is that I'll mask off the trunks. I'll stamp the fronds in Granny Apple Green because I want a bit of punch up off of it. And then I'm going to take a Stamping Blends marker and color the trunks. If all goes well, it will look beautiful. And if it doesn't, it'll look pretty good anyways. So I'm just using some tape I have here to tape this down. Now I won't be able to get that top spot. I'm not able to do that. I'm not that good. But that'll rub right off for me. You'll see. Let's put this away so I don't need it here. So I'm going to stamp this here. Until I like what it looks like. I think that's good. And then I'm going to pull off the tape. That's the secret to that technique, is to pull off the tape. I'm going to use my finger, and I'm just going to go up in there and just get that off like that. And I'm going to come in with the paintbrush side because it seems to lay the ink down better. See how it does? And the same thing on this side. You want a lot of ink there on the rubber so it shows up. And then I'm going to use my huffing technique where I huff on it to make sure that the ink is still damp when I put it down on here. And I'm just going to pray. I did this once before and it didn't come out. So, it's beautiful. And so what I will do is I will adhere it to here, but let's adhere this piece down first. So we'll take this. This would also be pretty. I always like to give alternatives to help you think about stuff. Is if you cut out the oval, stitch it oval out of, I didn't cut these very good, but there you go. If you, instead of cutting a piece, if you cut it out and had the white there, it would be pretty as well. So now I'm going to adhere this here. I'm not going to pop any of this up because it's, with the folds and everything, it has several layers. This isn't cut just right, but I'm not going to stress over it. I'm going to pray that it just looks good. Then when I adhere it on here, I'm going to line it up. Do you see how I don't want that to show? And so I'll bring it over just a little bit extra and it won't show. But what I am going to do is I'm going to bring my my baby cutter in. This is where the baby cutter comes in handy. And I'm just going to even this up. And I may even cut a little bit more off of that side to make it look like it's even with the other side. But I think that's going to do pretty good. Yeah, that top piece is just a little off. So this is, there There you go. There you go. So the baby cutter does really well with that. So when you go to put your glue on this, I do want to remind you, you're only gluing this part over here. Don't glue the whole thing. I've done that before, and that's how come I know not to do it. So once again, I'm back, and I'm gonna line this up. I'm gonna look at it here and make sure stay still. Make sure I cover this all up. Just like that. Press it down. Okay. See, oh, it's ink. I'll get that off. Now, I like this card. I like it like this, and actually I do like it in this. I'll use one of the erasers and get this off. You know, one of these little guys. It'll get this right off. It'll take that right up. There you go. Okay. Now, I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday, and that's what I got from the Timeless Tulips. And I'm going to stamp it on this little piece here in a Memento. And then I'm going to punch it out with a classic label punch, because for some reason, I wanted something else here. Don't ask why. You know how my brain works. Nobody knows. Okay. Let's make sure we get this good. This is a little piece. I may regret this. What's on the other side of this one? Let's do this one, because I'll be able to hold it better inside of the punch is what I'm after. Happy birthday. And I'm going to tell you right now, the classic label punch is one of my very favorite punches for words. I just think you can use it in so many different ways, and it makes me happy. And now I can just, and this I will use the, and I can just pop that up right there, and it looks so cool. I'm going to use the mini dimensionals because they'll go right there really easily. Take off these little backs. Put it right here. And that's a monochromatic card if I ever saw one. So again, that's a classic label punch. It's the one my husband threw in the trash. I had to reorder. That's a joke here in my family. And if you made yourself one of these, make sure when you're done with your glue, you put it back. Okay. So there's your fun fold for today. I don't have a name for it. We'll call it the monochromatic fun fold. It opens like this. And there's room for you to shine it. I think it turned out pretty cute considering. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the video. So again, I used the Timeless Tulips. That's what I got the Happy Birthday out of. Oh, they're all timeless. And the Timeless Tropical. I got the May Your Birthday Be Memorable, the palm trees, and the little flower. So I hope you enjoyed that today. I'll be back next week with another fun fold. And enjoy your weekend. I'll try to make it different. I'm sure you will. Bye-bye.